scruples about the easiest way to get ahead, I took it upon myself to absolve them of that unnecessary baggage, which probably, in retrospect, consumed more of my time and energy than actually studying for tests and paying attention in class, which was boring. School sucked, but I did need to graduate and get into college. I didn't want to end up, as Mom so frequently warned me, as a homeless derelict knifed to death in my sleep under some anonymous bridge or overpass for my ratty old overcoat that probably smelled even worse than my assailant. So, copying test papers and homework, and plagiarizing research papers, despite my lifelong friends' and classmates' misgivings, were becoming more and more a priority. My credo at the time was, never do for yourself what others can do for you. What they did for me was get me a diploma, and therefore into college, for which I am forever grateful. Years later, when I went to graduate school at Harvard, they took full credit. Without us, you would never have gotten out of high school, they said. And it was true. As their self-appointed instructor, that course in study hall was my first foray into teaching, which eventually would blossom into a lifelong career and, early on, get Pat and me out of the draft. But that was years later. When I first met Pat, he was new to Beaufort and Beaufort High. His dad, Colonel Don Conroy, having been transferred to the United States Marine Corps base at Parris Island, Beaufort's local military base. Beaufort, my hometown, then redneck rather than resort, was as unknown to the world as Colonel Conroy's eventual nom de Roman, the great Santini. As I say, I heard of Pat long before I met him. Two really pretty girls, Gretchen Moss and Kathleen Kennedy, who sat at our for seniors only table, were themselves military brats and couldn't shut up about him. Pat Conroy this, Pat Conroy that. Oh, he's so funny. Oh, he's so cute, so nice and friendly. And he wasn't even a senior, just some snot-nosed junior wannabe. This was a guy to be reckoned with, I thought, as I copied Billy Cannaday's math homework. When they got too loud, naturally, I reprimanded them. Jesus, can you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to get some work done here. Cheating, I informed them, is a serious business. The need for concentration, focus, as in any serious endeavor, could not be overestimated. This was as much a part of the course as anything else, as far as I was concerned. I was tough, I admit, but they'd thank me for it later, I promised them. Boy, were they pretty. The first actual contact between Pat and me was when the basketball came my way in one of those pickup games in the gym involving what seemed like 1,000 players on each team. Talk about threading the needle. The ball floated toward me through a Byzantine maze of players. I didn't even know at the time who had passed it. I'd been jogging lazily toward the basket, hoping maybe for a loose ball or an easy rebound bouncing my way, and there the ball was, floating softly into my open palms, and, at the cost not even of a dribble, rising upward, glancing off the backboard into the basket. A soft pass, intended to lead me toward the pot of gold, the hoop. No unnecessary spin, easily handed, clean, thrown not only with stealth but with astonishing foresight, especially for a madhouse pickup game. The guy who'd passed it, who would become the greatest basketball player ever to graduate from Beaufort High, an all-state player and Citadel point guard known for having eyes in the back of his head, introduced himself to me that afternoon. His gregarious smile, his bright blue Irish eyes, his body so hard and taut that when he drove to the basket, he drove undeterred, opponents just bouncing off him. "Pat Conroy," he said, offering his hand. "You've got a great shot. I was watching you. That's rare." Already, he was thinking about who, in the future, he was going to throw the ball to. He was a military brat. I knew that. They were more worldly than locals like me, having lived all over the place. They were more cosmopolitan, knew geography and how to get around. On senior trips, they knew how to take the subway in New York.